If money were no object, what would you do with your life? Most of us have been taught not to ask that question seriously. We inherit a script before we even know who we are. Go to school, get a job, earn more, buy more, climb the ladder, retire. This sequence is presented as success, yet it rarely stops to ask, success by whose definition? Alan Watts believed that our modern view of success is dangerously narrow. We measure it in numbers, titles, possessions, and approval, but rarely in joy, presence, or authenticity. The tragedy is that you can follow the path perfectly, reach the summit, and still feel the hollowness of a dream that wasn't yours. Real success, Watts argued, is living a life that aligns with your deepest passions, values, and curiosity. It's not about reaching a future point where happiness will finally arrive. It's about living fully in the present, enjoying the journey as it unfolds. The question is not, how can I earn more? But, how can I live more? Because if the story you're following was written by someone else, it doesn't matter how beautifully you read it. It will never feel like your own. Watts often compared life to music. Its value isn't in rushing to the final note, but in savoring the melody as it plays. Yet our culture treats life as a race, with success always one step ahead. The next promotion, the next purchase, the next milestone. True success, in Watts's view, comes when three things are present. First, you live in alignment with your passions. If social expectations and money were irrelevant, what would you do? That answer is the seed of authentic living. Second, you are present. Real success is not measured in how much you own, but in how deeply you experience the moments you have. A sunset you actually watch is worth more than a luxury car you're too stressed to enjoy. Third, you are free from the endless need to prove yourself. The constant chase for validation from others is a trap that takes you further from your own compass. Watts didn't dismiss ambition or material achievement. He simply warned against mistaking them for life's ultimate goal. Ironically, when you live authentically, doing what you love and being fully present, material rewards often follow naturally. But even if they don't, you have already succeeded, because you've lived on your own terms. How can you live this philosophy in a world that still demands bills be paid and responsibilities met? Watts would say it starts with small but radical honesty. Each day ask, am I doing this because I choose to or because I'm afraid not to? That simple question can strip away layers of unconscious habit and fear. Next, slow down enough to actually be here. Notice how often you rush through life as if the real part hasn't started yet. Watts compared it to dancing. You don't dance to arrive at a specific point on the floor. You dance for the joy of each step. The same applies to work, relationships, and personal growth. If you treat life as a checklist of achievements, you'll always feel incomplete. But if you treat it as a melody to be played, you begin to see that success is already happening in every sincere conversation, in every small act of kindness, in every moment of curiosity. Applying this philosophy doesn't necessarily mean quitting your job or running away to a cabin in the woods, unless that's truly what calls you. It means infusing whatever life you have now with authenticity, presence, and joy, no matter the circumstances. Watts warned against the seductive idea of later, the belief that you will finally do what you love, travel where you've dreamed, or live how you truly wish once the timing is right. Later is an illusion. Tomorrow is a promise no one can make. If you want to write, paint, teach, explore, or build, the only moment you truly have is now. Success, in the truest sense, isn't something to chase. It's something you allow. It's what happens when you stop running toward the horizon and instead realize that you are already standing exactly where life is happening. The horizon will always move, but your life is here. The real meaning of success, then, is to live so fully that you don't need to ask whether you've made it. You will know, not because you have reached some final destination, but because you have learned to love the road itself. And perhaps the greatest secret is that when you live this way, you stop worrying about success altogether. You simply live, and that in the end is the highest form of success there is.